Did you hear about this Tesla stuff, Will? Elon, he was paying attention when Porsche, see, I did that for the Germans. I did that for the British fans. It's the way you're supposed to say it, Will. We talked about this before. Got to remind myself. Porsche. Make it a little bit longer. Porsche. I noticed when you watch the videos, with like automotive videos or whatever, they're very comfortable with a Porsche. Like they do the really fast.
Porsche. It's like a subtle craft.
Yeah, Porsche. Because otherwise you end up doing this Porsche thing, which is too much. So I'm working on it. I'll get there one day. So Elon was paying attention when all that news came out about the Taycan, which is, of course, their new all-electric vehicle. They did this event. They dropped some specifications. They talked about lap times, specifically on the Nürburgring, which is the world-famous track in Germany where you would go and test for a lap time to determine how capable your vehicle is in a racing situation, not just in a straight line, but around bends in a racetrack environment. And so many popular vehicles, commercially available vehicles have lap times at the ring, as they call it. And enthusiasts use that number as a method for figuring out the raw potential of the vehicle outside of a drag strip, outside of a straight line, because of course there's various race car driving that happens where they're taking turns. Well, there's more to racing when it comes to lots of F1.
Yeah, it's a good test track.
What do you got? Grand Prix, Le Mans. I mean, I played these racing games at some point in my life, so
yeah, Gran Turismo.
Anyhow, so for the longest time, the Model S P100D with the ludicrous mode on it, or the extra power in there, the dual motor setup, has been dropping some crazy figures in a straight line from 0 to 60, like sub 3 seconds, well into the twos, just crazy. I've experienced it. You experienced the Model 3 launch?
Model 3, yeah.
Yeah, which is also equally kind of crazy. I think that one's more like 3 seconds, but it's a pull. It's some torque on it. Anyhow, so the Model S, the high-end version, some crazy speed figures in a straight line. But up until this point, it hasn't really had a reliable ring time because of the setup and the electric motors and so forth. There have been some issues with getting a reliable time on the Nürburgring. Elon saw that Porsche was out there with the Taycan stating that they had this incredible lap time for a four-door vehicle, breaking records. And he was on Twitter almost immediately after saying, okay, challenge accepted, so to speak. And now there's been this vehicle out on the ring testing. It looks like a Model S, but it's not. It's like some kind of upgraded Model S, some sort of Frankenstein Model S. They're calling it the Plaid Model S. Now, Plaid, representative of the ultimate performance stage for launch. Like you put the car in plaid. I think it's an homage to Spaceballs, if I recall correctly, where he he goes beyond warp speed into plaid. So this Plaid model is a 3-motor variant Model S. And if you look at the images here, you go look them up, or Willie Duke can show them to you. This Plaid Model S has a spoiler on it, a totally different looking rim and tire package. And there's something looks different about the car in general. It's lower. I mean, presumably there's some modifications that have been made here. It is not a stock vehicle. But anyhow, it is on the Nürburgring, and an observer, this is a report via electrek.co. They've always got the hot news on the electric vehicles. An observer decided to run their own time on a lap around since it was doing the testing. They noticed, that's a special Model S. I'm going to just use my own stopwatch, maybe on a smartphone or something, and see how fast it's going. They recorded a time of 7 minutes, 23 seconds, which, of course, beats the published time, the Taycan time, by like 20 seconds. So crushes it. I believe they were at 7 minutes, 42. So now you have this ongoing conversation. You've got this back and forth, a dialogue between Porsche and Tesla over who's got the dominance on the Nürburgring and who's got the highest performance fully electric vehicle, fully electric sedan. Obviously, one day we're going to see that Roadster, and who knows what those numbers are going to, that's going to be a different story. Now, I know a lot of people are probably like, what is this? What kind of a match is this? Like, no one's driving their cars like this. What are we doing out here? This is crazy. But there is something to the dominance and having a vehicle that where you can make a statement like this, and then individuals thinking, well, if they can do that, then I'm never going to find myself in a situation where I would ever want anything more out of the vehicle, because when pushed to its extreme limits in this type of circumstance, it prevails.
Right.
So there's like a mind, there's like a psychology to it.
Yeah,
obviously.
and there's like a test of engineering too.
That too. It's kind of just fun if you make things to test them and see what happens. So this is obviously promising. I'm sure once these numbers become official, I'm sure Elon Musk is going to be very happy about that. The argument against it that's being positioned here in this article and on social media is that the Taycan numbers were on a finished available vehicle, a commercial vehicle. Like they don't call it what do they call it? Not a commercial vehicle. They have a name for this, for a vehicle that's actually a production car. There we go. Jeez, Lou. Get with it. Extra coffee. What's with the paper bag? I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of it one day. So if it's not a production vehicle, the time doesn't really mean much in terms of how people track and keep tabs on the most amazing lap times on this world-famous track. The Taycan was a production vehicle, whereas this one, with these modifications, presumably isn't at the time being. But you know what Tesla could do, Will? They could just go on their website and put a little tab for Model S Plaid and be like, and just put pre-order pending or whatever.
Right.
Now it's a production. They can just
That's true, yeah.
snap their fingers, and if they plan to produce it, maybe even in small quantities, it all of a sudden becomes a production vehicle with 3 motors and some unbelievable lap time. So it's all very interesting, but there is, of course, this is officially a competition now by the looks of it, and Tesla is out there. They're in Germany, and they're looking for the crown. So it's kind of exciting for electric vehicle fans.